Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I am joined
by me, Anya.
The star of the show.
Yeah.
The one you've all been waiting for. I get so many requests for me to film videos with Anya. Did you know that?
No, because I'm not you.
So she also doesn't really watch my channel, so like
yeah, no, I have to admit that I'm probably her biggest hater.
You actually are. Like,
even my friends are like, that's so cool, and I'm like, it's not.
You joke, but like she never watches
it's just
videos.
it's not my type of content, but
I'm not her style. I mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, that's fine.
Yeah,
but you think that you would, especially because we don't live together, that you would like want to keep up with my life, but
I
apparently
don't care.
Not. So anyway, today we thought we'd sit down and do a mukbang Q&A, just answer some questions. I haven't filmed a video with you
in forever.
Yeah. It's been a while. A lot has happened.
Sorry, you don't swear.
No, I do swear.
Okay, that's fine. Lot.
Yeah, a lot has gone down. I feel like we're very different people.
Oh, definitely. Sorry.
Like, can I fucking eat? We just went and picked up Carl's Jr., which we've never tried before. They have, I think, 2 in Adelaide. One in...
No, 3, I think. I looked it up.
Oh.
I don't know though.
The more you know. One in Mount Barker and the other one in Kilburn, which is one we went to. So we got a serve of waffle fries. It's a real mukbang moment. Look at that. Stunning. We're very excited about those. We've got some onion rings. Also, look at my nails. I'm literally allergic to getting my nails done.
So embarrassing.
Hate for me. Look how crusty and gross they are. I've developed an allergic reaction to getting my nails done, just like I did with my eyelashes. I'm absolutely over it. What did you say about them? You're like, your body's lulling you into a full sense.
Yeah, and like her body's like, oh my god, you could look this hot, and then it's like, no, you can't.
Never mind.
Sorry.
It's like, I don't have an immediate reaction. I develop it over like 6 months.
Yeah, they're like,
so
you could do this, and then no.
And then I got the hand-breaded chicken BLT sandwich. What did you get, love?
I got the hand-breaded chicken fillet sandwich. Add tomato.
With tomato. Also, did we say that we're sisters?
Go.
I just said this is Anya, like a special guest.
Yeah, but like, surely, if you don't know by
new.
now, then like, you literally need to leave. Honestly, like, you might, like, we don't really look that similar. So
yeah, we don't act similar. We're very different people, which you will
Well, except we always say the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, so, like, sisters!
Yeah, no,
we
it's
do.
So
it's
gross.
Yeah, disgusting. Okay, I asked you guys 4 questions on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'll have it linked down below. So we're just going to go through it and just... Should we take it in turns to ask each other questions?
Yeah, sure. First? Okay.
Nice season.
Will you be filming your wedding dress shopping, and will we get to see the dress?
Oh, good question. So I will be filming it, hopefully, if they allow me. We're actually going wedding dress shopping in like 3 or 4 weeks.
I still need to book work off.
Okay, well, so we'll be filming everything if I can, but I don't think I'll show my wedding dress. Maybe I'll like record the reaction if I find the one and like record it, but I'll blur it out because I want to save that for the wedding day.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want Nick to accidentally see it or like someone to send it to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where does Anya live now?
I live in the same place I always have, my parents' house.
Yeah, but my parents moved. They built a new house, but you haven't moved far.
No, like still in the same area, very much the same vibes. But yep.
Just not together.
Yeah, thank God. What's one thing you could change in your life?
Ooh.
That is like such a hard question because I feel like you like pretty much your life is going super well right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Like
you have a good job, like just like moved into a new place, like you're in a good relationship. Like I guess like if you live somewhere you could have a pet.
Yeah, I would like to have a dog. That would be my thing. Or to have a house. To be a homeowner, I think would probably be my biggest thing. Because I know we're getting married. I know that we're eventually going to get a house, but it would be nice to have like one right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As much as I enjoy renting, and I think it's been great. But then if I just got a house, would I feel satisfied? Because you haven't like worked for it. Do you know what I mean?
No, because I think...
Because a house is a house. Yeah. Okay, what would you do? What would you change?
I don't know. Because everything in my life is just like how it's meant to be kind of thing. It's like everything that's happening is like
happening for a reason. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be like, well, like I'd want to live somewhere else because it's like I don't have enough money for that, so it's not realistic. Like, what would you change? You know what I mean?
Would you want to move out of home?
Like I would at some point, but that's what I mean. It's not something I'd want to change right now. Yeah. So it's kind of hard because I feel like everything's going pretty. I want a cat. Because we have just Lily now. I think a cat would be so good to have because it would like put her in her place because she has like such chaotic energy, and cats do not take no shit.
I think that's why you get along the best. Because you are like Lily.
Yeah! But I think we need a cat. That's like one thing I would change. Like, but Dad doesn't want one. Mum's okay with it, but Dad is not a cat.
Never cry on your lip.
The way I got it like a lizard. I was like, I knew exactly where it was too.
What are you most excited for the wedding?
What am I most excited for? I don't know. Like really, I feel like like weddings are just like, you can't be excited for one thing. It's just like the experience of going through it. Because I've never been to a wedding before.
Have you never been to a wedding?
No, because girl, like I was in my mum's belly when it was hers.
I went to mum's wedding.
Okay.
You weren't invited. They literally did it just before your due date.
Yeah, they said
like, I don't want to. You know what I'm really excited about? I really want to do like a... Have you seen those videos or like those photos of where you do like the bride and the bride's father? So like I finished getting ready and like Dad sees me for the first time in like the wedding dress and like all finished. I think those are so beautiful. I'd love that.
It's definitely like dads at weddings, like really, because like they're typical like don't show emotion any other time kind of thing.
Except like does.
That's like hella emotional, but you just know then like on the day
he'll be like
crying,
extra emotional.
You know?
On Mum and Dad's wedding, the only thing I really remember is the puffer fish.
I don't know why you're saying it like, because I wasn't there.
Oh yeah, sorry. The puffer fish and Dad crying, like just could not stop. This is nice. How's yours?
So like everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck does the puffer fish mean? Like what does that have to do with the wedding?
Keep them in suspense.
You'll see. We're getting that. That's the something old we're getting. Do you two ever get compared to each other by others? I feel like not really.
Not really.
Yeah. I don't think
sometimes, but not like I wouldn't say any more than like the average sibling.
Exactly. I don't think it's like where it's like a problem
issue,
where you're like, oh my god, like I'm always like comparing myself to you because of it. It's more just I don't think I ever really get compared because people just don't even know we're related sometimes. No, like, but it's true though, because then they're like, oh, so it's like, what are you gonna compare? Because we're so different.
We're so different. I think it's hard to compare. Yeah, I think the age difference. There's a good like 4 years, 11 months and 2 weeks between us, exactly. So I think that helps. Like, we're just in very different stages of our life. I think that's...
If we were closer in age, I think it is more of a problem because you're like... If I had gone through what I've gone through and then being at that stage and then you had a job and then I didn't, you would be like... You know, like... But then even in that sense, it's like you cannot compare that because it's different life experiences.
Exactly.
Like, you know, so...
Everyone's on their own journey.
And I think we surround ourselves with people who don't compare.
No. We're our own individuals. Yeah. And people respect that. That's a good question though. It would be horrible, I think, if you were constantly compared to, like, your sibling. Okay, this one's for you. We're delving in deep here.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to ask first.
Yeah, there's quite a few, actually.
This one's not a question, but this girl just wanted to say, I'm so proud of Anya for being so open. It takes a lot of guts.
Yep. That is very nice to say, but yeah.
How did you realise you had an eating disorder and how did you tell your family?
Oh my god, okay, so basically, I was just like, it's so easy to tell you have an eating disorder, which is like, the only reason you would think you don't have one is because your eating disorder is trying to convince you don't. Because it's like, I had anorexia, well, in recovery from it. So like, mine was like extreme like restricting and stuff. So it's like so easy to tell because it's like no one...
You know you're...
Yeah, you know you're doing it.
And it's so consuming.
Exactly. And it's like, I was always thinking about food and then I was always like faint and stuff, obviously from not eating. And I was just like never... happy, like I never felt good. And then I just got to the point one day where I was like, I kind of knew for a while because you literally physically cannot not know you have one. The only thing, like I said, will just be your eating disorder trying to convince you that you're okay. One day I like had enough, like I just couldn't take it. I just like said to Mum, like, I think I have a problem with eating, and then it kind of just went from there.
And then from there you went and got tests at the doctors, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, how long after was it that you got admitted to hospital?
Not long at all.
It was like a few days or something when the test results came back and your heart... What was wrong with your heart?
I got an ECG done. Basically your resting heart rate should be like, I think like something like 70 to 80, like like high up there. And my resting was like 47. which is like
dangerously
that you're
low.
about to die. Then from
And
there,
you're in hospital for
1.5 or no,
it?
two
It was
and a
2.5
half weeks.
weeks,
2.5 weeks. And yeah, and so I just like lived in the hospital for a bit.
It was so sad.
Yeah, it was like literally the worst as well. For me, it was like the end of year 12. And so I missed out on like my graduation and like the last 2 weeks of school and stuff. So it was like a weird time to like be in that situation because it's like a very pivotal point.
I guess I should say from our perspective, from the family's perspective, I think because it was so gradual, like your decline was so gradual, and when you're around someone every single day and you're seeing that same person every single day and like everyone's busy, like mum and dad working full time, we're in and out. The thing about an eating disorder is it's so secretive, so no one was picking up on those things.
Exactly.
And the things that are like red flags now, we weren't educated on, so no one like saw.
Yeah, you don't know what to look out for if you've never had that experience with it. The only time like mum caught on was like because she had time off from work because of her like the surgery.
Yeah.
And so like then she was like suspicious. That's not the reality of like the world we live in because it's all just like go and like especially like being in school, it's like, well, it doesn't matter because like I'm still getting good grades and stuff. Usually that's like what parents use to like see how their kids are doing and stuff, but I was still getting good grades, so it was like I'm fine. And that was like another thing my eating disorder was like, well, you can't be ill because you're getting good grades, so you're fine. And it's like,
yeah,
but then meanwhile my heart rate was like
46.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so,
you're about to die. I remember mum saying, because at this point I was just starting my job at Flight Centre. How weird is that? Feels like a different life.
It literally was though.
And I remember mum saying like, Anya's getting admitted to hospital, and I was like, what the hell? Like it was just out of nowhere, because I knew you were going to get tests done because mum was like a little bit concerned.
Oh yeah, but you don't realise like how
the extent of it.
Even if you're like not typical, like I hate how they call it like typical and atypical anorexia. No matter what size your body is or whatever, if you have those behaviours, you have anorexia.
Your weight, your body looks
exactly,
like.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. It's like if you have those behaviours and those thoughts, you have that disorder. Like it doesn't matter what.
And I think that's a really big misconception.
Exactly, because then it's like you're always just looking for that person who's like really skinny or whatever, because typical thing is, oh, they're just doing it to lose weight, and it's like it's not that, it's a coping mechanism. Like most likely people who have it have gone through like some trauma that they don't know how to cope with, and then like
that's their way of control. And yeah,
I mean, if you're like looking out for someone, like don't just look out for them because all of a sudden they've lost weight. It's like if you recognize people having those behaviors of like restriction,
what
and,
would you say
obsession,
are the biggest signs?
I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. If like you have a friend who like avoids eating with you or is overly like picky about what they eat, like talks about like dieting a lot or exercising and stuff, or is like I can't eat this because of this reason. Also, like if you're like vegetarian and vegan, that doesn't mean you have an eating disorder, but if you have an eating disorder, you will most likely be vegetarian or vegan. How did my eating disorder impact you?
I feel like that's hard to say. I don't think I realised the impacts it had on me until... Why do I feel like I'm gonna cry?
It is like that. Like
why do I feel like I'm gonna cry? What is wrong with that?
No, because it's like an emotional situation. Like,
yeah.
I hate when people are like, oh my god, you're crying. It's like, that doesn't mean you're sad. It's just like, it brings
you do that
emotions.
all the time. You're like, why are you crying?
I literally will see someone crying and I'll be like, are you crying? But I don't mean it like that. I'm just
you mean like are you crying? Like concern, yeah.
Yeah, but I do not sound like that. Anyway.
What was the question?
How did it impact you?
I think, how do I word this? I think it's just like being around an eating disorder, especially when you're recovering, is very like consuming, like it's draining.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you're 100 times better now and in a really good place, but at the time, like when you were, even though you were willing to recover and like you were as willing as you could be, that was still hard to be around that.
It's like, for some reason, like it sucks, but like when you have an eating disorder, like it gets worse when you get help. Obviously it doesn't want to go away, like it still wants to have that control over you, so like you ask for help, it's like immediately gonna like amp it up even more. Same as in recovery, it's like immediately like everything's like got such a much bigger stressor on it. It sucks because it genuinely has to like not get worse in the sense of like you getting worse, but as in the thoughts before you get better, because I was like still eating and stuff, but it's just like the thoughts are like way more intense.
Because you're
when you-
like
when
going
you-
against what your mind is
Exactly,
telling you.
because it's just like literally like unnatural at that point, and then you're like anorexia is like, yeah, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop doing this. This isn't what I asked you to do.
Because it is so consuming. I'm obviously a lot older, so I have a much better understanding of it, but I can so imagine as a sibling of someone with an eating disorder, if you were younger,
Oh yeah.
like feeling left out's not the right word. Left out.
No, I don't know.
Neglected's also not the right word. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like overlooked, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was like something that impacted me, but obviously I'm aware enough to know that it's not about me.
Oh, exactly.
At that
It's
time.
like if
I guess just the stress it puts on like the family as a whole.
Oh, definitely. That's like the worst part of it. That's why like I think when you're like in the depths of it, you kind of like isolate yourself from your family. Like I was still hanging out with friends and stuff and like seeing them, but like from your family, because they're the ones who actually help you. But then it's like obviously in recovery, like it said, like you can't do that because like they're the ones who are helping you, and so it's like now like everything that you've avoided is like all like happening, and you have to like deal with that and be like, oh.
Prior to us realizing you had an eating disorder, you were probably the most horrible human being I've ever been around.
Oh no.
Like had no empathy, was so angry and like just a miserable human being. And we all thought, oh, she's just like a horrible
Grumpy
teenager.
teenager.
And now it's weird because like you do sometimes show empathy, working out how to have like a relationship again, because for the longest time we didn't. And that would probably be the weirdest thing for you, because suddenly you're like, you have to speak to people and have relationships. How do I like express my emotions and stuff? So yeah.
Everyone's just asking me what I'm up to like after school and stuff, like if I'm like
She's learning how to eat. What are you doing with your
like
life?
what do I do, like do I study, work, blah blah blah. So I don't study. I did try to study last year, didn't go too well. I just like was like, oh, this ain't for me, sorry. And then after that I didn't have a job for a while. I was looking for one for like quite a while. I'd say like a year, because
She stopped working when she was admitted to hospital.
like because I used to work at Hungry Jack's,
And her whole focus was on recovering.
But then since then I got like a job at Coles, and I was like doing the online shopping, so like I get to like shop for other people. That's my job. And then I also just recently got a job working for the ABC
With Nick.
Yeah, and so
they're co-workers.
yeah,
Or he's your boss,
my
I
boss.
guess.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been stacking my bread up, and
What does that mean? Oh, your money. I was like, what bread?
okay, boomer. No, I can't believe I said that.
And that's all
Vibing.
quite recent, isn't it?
Yeah, like I started working at Coles like
6 weeks
maybe
ago?
a month over a month ago. And then this job like literally last week. So it's like all hella recent, but it's all like coming together. You know what I mean? Like now I have
You
like
deserve it, sis.
exactly. And like before it wouldn't have been ideal anyway, because I was still like having regular therapy and doctor's appointments. Like I still go to them as well, but not as regularly.
And you're in a better place where you can like handle the stresses of a new job. Someone asked you have a boyfriend.
No. Hell, F boys, for real.
No boys 2021.
Yep. Ella's not getting married anymore.
Engaged. It's not even a question. Well, I guess it is, but it's just like
How
so
many
many
babies?
exclamation marks. I feel like someone's shouting at me.
gave it like-
How many babies? How many babies? Do you want children? Tell us.
I want animals.
You're gonna be a crazy cat lady.
I will be, and I'm proud of that.
I want 4. I want 4.
That is a lot.
I know. Maybe 3. Maybe 2. Who knows? I feel like I'll pop out 1 and then be like, never mind. What would you say the impact of your eating disorder was on the family as a whole?
Bad.
Obviously.
It's just like everyone's worried about you, but at the same time you're like, I don't want you to worry about me. And it's just like a weird back and forth of just like it's just like hard. I think
that was the other biggest impact. I didn't talk about that, but obviously like the concern and I think guilt. I think that's one thing mum and dad probably carried, and even me, like just not seeing or not thinking that like how did we let it get to this point? How do we not see the warning signs, and like carrying that guilt of not being able to help you.
But
I
it's
think
like
as
no
your
one's
big
fault,
sister, like
really.
you just want to protect.
Yeah,
her.
but it's like no one's fault. Like you can't. Like it's so hard to spot because people don't admit there's a problem, and then like if you ask someone who has an eating disorder, like they're gonna be like, I'm not doing anything. Like you know what I mean. So you can't blame yourself. Even like mum asked me like months before, she like tried to talk to me about it, and I was like not in the mood. So it's like she did try, you know what I mean. But you literally, it sucks because it's like got the highest death rate of any mental illness. But you literally have to wait for that person to want to recover. It sucks to say that, but you can't force anyone into recovery. They have to want to do it on their own.
Or it has to get bad enough for
exactly for them
interfering,
or for them to like realize like, damn, like this actually is affecting me.
One of the biggest questions I get from people is, what do I do? Like, my sister or my friend I think has a problem.
Yeah.
And like, what do you do?
The most you can do is like
Just
open up
be
a conversation, like let them know you're there for them.
Does Anya approve of Nick?
Yeah, he's okay. He got me a job, so
you better be careful about what you say, love.
Now that he got me a job. Green tick.
You've always liked him.
Yeah, no, I've always liked him, but like it's like I haven't been fully there.
Yeah, like the first year or more of our relationship, you hated him because you were in like the depths of your eating disorder.
Yeah, so
fun times.
Character development.
What has helped you the most in recovering from your eating disorder?
Therapy, like professional help, having a support network,
family therapy,
being open with people. I'm very open that I've had an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Then like you start so many conversations with other people who are like, oh, I think I'm going to get help or whatever, or my family went through this, like, you know.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, like you gain so many connections from it. You can inspire like other people to recover if you recover and stuff.
Have we always been close?
Like yes and no.
Different stages.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, we were so close. And then once I hit like 12 or 13, I was like,
you're a loser.
You were a loser. I used to have sleepovers with Olivia in my own room. My best friend would be staying up to like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then at like 6 o'clock in the morning, we would just hear you creep into the room and you curl up in a ball and pretend not to be there. We used to call you The Rock.
Yeah. Everyone loves Dwayne, so I don't know what the problem is.
Do you have a good relationship with your other siblings? Do they live near you?
No. I don't know where the fuck they live.
They do. One. Just don't see any of our siblings.
No, we don't. Well, other than each other.
Do you? Yeah. Thanks for the obvious. Do you want to expand on that?
No, not really. I can't really be bothered. We just don't have a relationship with them.
Good.
We outgrew them. We basically did though. They were just very like, they're not educated on anything.
There's a lot of dynamics behind our family because my mum was previously married. The older 3 that we're referring to have a different dad. So I think that brings its own challenges.
Yeah. But then on top of that, like, eating disorders, like being in our family and stuff, like
it's not just something
that I've experienced. It's like
the impact, the ripple effect, and when she was admitted to hospital, it just kind of highlighted the things that we kind of already like knew or were kind of
by
already
the
issues.
way they coped with it and the way
they responded and reacted. I also just think
so we said bye, Felicia.
I don't know, like we're grown up now. If they wanted to be in our lives, they would. Exactly. Or if we wanted to be in theirs, we would. It's sad. I don't know, it sounds so like cold and just like brutal, just be like, oh, we don't really care. But I think I'm just...
Like, what value did they add to your life? You know what I mean? And it was like more hurt.
Yeah. But over the years, I just think the angst and like the... Just like... It's just been horrible. Yeah. And so the thought of having a relationship for me personally, I think makes me actually... feel anxious and like...
Yeah, it doesn't make me anxious. I'm just like...
No, it like...
I'm just like, bleh.
Even just thinking about it right now. Like,
See,
there's some issues. We have issues, so yeah. Fun.
We got issues.
Anyway, we're sisters though, and we have a relationship. Do you want to end on anything before we wrap this up?
No, I don't think there's anything
Any
else
last words?
I was literally... I was going to burp too, but I didn't.
I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it was educational,
informative,
insightful. If you guys want us to do any more videos together, let us know. Maybe something a little bit more like lighthearted.
See, I told you we always say the same thing. Normally I feel like we're like and we're like, ooh. That's life. Life isn't all sunshines and rainbows, and I think it's important to talk about these things. And if you guys have any questions or you want any support, feel free to message either of us. We would love to be there for you. Yeah. Okay.
I love you guys so much. Make sure to follow us. Do you want them to follow you on Instagram?
Sure. Go for it.
I'll have both of our Instagrams linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Oh, you don't watch my videos. You don't know how they end.
No, I don't.
I go...
Do I
and
have
then
to
cover
do
up
that?
the camera. Yeah, we have to do it together.
We don't...